Good afternoon to you. My name is Glenn Warren, and we are here today talking about Fathers Forever, which is a nonprofit organization started about 4.5 years ago to kind of help fathers be prepared to be fathers. Yesterday was our first broadcast. If you're listening in, I'd love for you to tune in and be a part of the conversation yesterday. We'll be trying to do this on a regular basis and talk about an issue, talk about a situation in our society that is becoming increasingly a problem for us as a nation, as a community. And we have started a program that helpfully will bring some solutions to this ever-increasing problem. It is called Fathers Forever, which is a nonprofit organization in North Carolina by way of Raleigh, the capital, Wake County. We are working currently with the court system and offering men a alternative to incarceration for not paying their child support. We've been doing this for almost 4 years now, and to date we've had over 350 guys who graduate from our program. 80% of them report now working and having jobs and being responsible for fathers, paying their child support, and doing the things that they need to be as a father. So we have been introduced to Periscope. I like the platform. So my friend Mike Garr really gave me a tutoring session in the last couple of sessions we had together. One sitting at a dining room table at Angie's, and the other one sitting in our office yesterday, and where we first did our first broadcast. And I just want to thank Mike for doing that. Mike Garr, follow him on Periscope. Anyway, I just wanted to, today we're going to talk about another topic. As we continue to talk about fatherhood, we're going to look at things that kind of somehow gets in the way of fathers being fathers and stepping up to the plate and doing the things that they need to be. And as we said yesterday, there are lots of reasons why fathers don't pay their child support. We talked about some of those yesterday. Why fathers are not in their kids' life. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting subject, I think. One of the issues is, as we reviewed yesterday, as we look at this, if you're just tuning in, my name is Glenn Warren from Fathers Forever, a nonprofit organization who are helping fathers be better fathers. Better men, better fathers. So, and yesterday we talked about why men are not in their kids' lives, and we talked about some of the reasons why they don't get along with their ex-wife, their ex-girlfriend, them themselves was not brought up in a house with a father, and also sometimes the anger and frustration and being unemployable, not having a job, having criminal records, a lot of things that contribute to them not being the father they need to be. And so we try to help them take down some of those barriers and help them understand their role as a father and their relationship with the mother of their children and all those things. And so today we're going to talk about a very touchy subject. It's the reasons why a lot of men are frustrated, and we're going to clear up some of that today. So if you're tuning in, we're going to talk about a touchy subject called where your child support money is going. And I know there's lots of men have this question about where their child support money is going. And some women have a lot of questions about why she's not getting her child support. So there's issues on both sides that perhaps need to be addressed, and also maybe we could come to some conclusion and help people get an understanding of what it is child support is and how important it is for a man or a woman who's paying child support to pay that child support on time. And we're going to kind of look at some ways where the child support money is going. And so let's just dive into that. Again, if you're listening, thank you for tuning in. My name is Glenn Warren, calling out of Wake County, Raleigh. We're talking about child support. Why men, and actually the thing is Fathers Forever. So anyway, let's just dive into this whole subject. I became a single parent probably about 16 years now. I was married. I had a wonderful wife, and we had 3 wonderful kids. And At some point in time over our 15-year marriage, we fell apart and do like most couples do. We separated and eventually divorced. Well, in this particular case, things are a little bit different. I ended up getting not total custody, but I had the custodial custody of my kids. I had three of them, two boys and a girl. And when we separated, my son was 11, my middle son was 9, and my daughter was 7. And we ended up with ending a 15-year marriage, and I became a custodian parent of 3 kids. And, you know, mind you, let me give you a little background of who I am. Mind you, I grew up in the country, the latter part of Johnson County. I didn't learn how to cook a lot. I was out in the field as a farm boy. My father owned a little small farm, a family farm that we grew all of our produce and corn and wheat and all that, corn and beans and collards and you name it. We also had livestock, pigs and hogs and goats and chickens. And so I spent most of my time outside the house, out in the field, out working, doing, you know, outside work. My sisters was in the house a lot. They came outside, but most of the time they was in the house. And so being a farm boy, growing up in the country, I didn't spend a lot of time in the kitchen, as you may imagine. And so I didn't have a lot of skills with cooking. Then I got married, and then my ex-wife was a good cook, and then she became a stay-at-home mom after we had our second kid. So I didn't never learn how to cook. And now I'm standing in my kitchen with 3 kids, and I've got to learn how to cook. The first time I made spaghetti, I forgot to, I did the noodles, okay. I ground the beef, put it in the pan like I was supposed to, but I didn't know, should have known, but how not to pour. So I poured the whole skillet of hamburger plus the grease into the bowl of noodles. And we had about 1 inch of grease sitting on the noodles. And my daughter looked at me and I looked at her, and we were thinking, that's not the way it's supposed to end up. So needless to say, we had to go get some more food that night from McDonald's. But I learned how to cook and learned how to, and being a single, I was a single father, but I'm not tooting my horn because there's many women who've been single parents for a long time. And thank God some men are stepping up to the plate and being single fathers and being a custodian father, if you will. And that's what happened to us. So I became the custodian parent with 3 kids. And now, you know, if you got 3 children, then you got to learn how to cook. And it's one thing that I hadn't learned how to do. But I had some crash courses and had a lot of support from people, and I learned how to cook. So which brings me to the next subject. Child support was very, very important to me. And this is one of the classes that we teach. In fact, I'll be teaching this class tonight. It's called Where My Child Support Money is Going. And after this session, I hope you might have a better understanding. I know where my child support money went. So it's for you fellas out there who questioning, is she doing the right thing with my child support? What is she doing? Is she getting her hair done? Is she getting her nails done? Is she paying for her other man? Hopefully at the end of this 10-minute, 15-minute broadcast, there'll be some question and answers. One of the classes that we teach, I said, is where your child support money is going. Because to me, I needed my child support, every penny of it. And thank God for my ex-wife that she was pretty consistent on paying my child support. I got it every other week, and I got it like clockwork. And I depended on that money. It was part of my budget. I worked for the county, and I got paid once a month. But with my child support check coming in, I was getting paid pretty much 3 times a month. Well, a salary. I was getting my regular salary, which I brought home about $2,100, and then per month, and it had to last me the rest of the month. And then I got my child support money, which ended up to being about $375 a month. So I would get paid on the first of the month, and then that money would go to pay the bills, the rent, the other things. And so we have this exercise that I'm going to try to see how this will work in this broadcast and how we can do that. I set the stage up with the fellas, and I asked them a question. I'm kind of inviting you into one of our classes. This is how we do it. And I asked the guys, how many have ever been behind on your rent? And the guys, some of them kind of raised their hand. And most of the time, the guys in our class, anywhere between 12 or 15 guys in a class. So I said, how many guys have ever been behind in their rent? Or worse than that, how many guys have ever been evicted? And, probably out of 15 guys, you get 4 or 5 guys that raise their hand. At some point in time, all of them do. You've been behind on your rent, or you got evicted rather. And so then I said, how many guys have ever had I'm setting them up for what I'm about to take you at. I said, how many guys have ever lost, had your lights cut off because you didn't pay your light bill that month? Well, guys raised their hand. How many guys have had your phone cut off? You pick up the phone in the morning and you look for that dial tone, or you go to make a call and you get a recording. Guys raised their hand for that. And how many guys have ever had your water cut off? And most of the guys in the group kind of raised their hand, and my hands were up a lot of times because my water's been cut off. One particular time, actually my water was off, and I would go back and cut the water on, and I did that on a frequent basis until they took the meter out, and I couldn't do that, and I had to go pay the water bill. Then I asked the question, how many have had your car repossessed? At some point in time, a large percent of us. I know that I had one of my cars repossessed, and I had have been this growing up, and one of my cars was repossessed because I didn't have the money. I got it back, but I didn't have the money at that time to pay for it. How many of you had your insurance elapse? And everybody raised their hand, and not everybody, but people raised their hand, because I'm setting the stage that these bills you have to pay on a monthly basis. If you don't pay them on a monthly basis, you may skip a month, but the next month you better pay it, because you don't, the lights get cut off. You get evicted. If you don't, you pay, you lose your your car payment, your insurance elapse, and then then we go into the next stage of this. I don't want to call it a skit, but this acting out of the life of your bills. So we asked the guy. So then now we have real play money. And I count out the money of my budget. I brought home $2,495 every month. That included my child support. My bills was right at $2,170, and so I only had about $300 left. Period. So that's not including, any kind of emergency like tires and cars. Your tire, your battery. Your kids have got to go here. They got to do stuff for Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. They want to, a friend of mine got a birthday party. So my money was basically, it wasn't a whole lot of wiggle room to do other things. So I would ask the guys to come and I had one guy come and get the rent money, and one guy come and get my light bill money. We count all this money out because I want the guys to see exactly where their money is going. So we have this process, and I have one guy. He's the landlord, so he'll come and get. I was paying $700 a month for my rent, and I lived in a mobile home, and I was paying $700 a month, including my lot rent. So the guy will come up and get my $700, and then I said, okay, who won't be Mr. CP&L? And one guy will come up, and I was paying about $125 on my light bill on average. And then I was like, okay, who wants to be the city of Raleigh? We had our water to the city of Raleigh, and the guy would come up and get my about $60 that I paid the light bill every month. And then I would say, who wants to be the Wachovia, who had my car payment? And the guys would come up and get the $360 that I was paying for my car payment. And at the end of this exercise, they realized that I only had a few dollars left. And I had at least 26 or 27 more days to go because I got paid once a month. So all my big money was pretty much gone. I had a couple of dollars. So if I had to buy a battery, if I got to buy some tires, if something, my generator, my alternator went out, or something happened to my car, I was just, out of luck because I really didn't have any money in the bank because all of my money really went to my everyday bills. So I would rely on my child support money that I got every other week. So about the 6th or 7th of, well, probably about the 10th of that week, that particular month, I would go to the mailbox and I would get my check out, $175, thereabouts. And I will be happy that I got, by this time, I forgot the budget, the food in the budget. By this time, my food budget was about $400. I got 3 growing kids. And of course, about 10 days into the month, the food that I stocked up on at the beginning of the month is depleting. Because I had 2 sons that ate like they was, going out of style. And the food pantry supplies were getting low. So I would take some of that money and go and buy some more milk, buy some more cornflakes, buy some more cereal, get some other things that we needed, perhaps pay for one of the kids going to a birthday party, those kind of things that we needed. Sometimes unexpected bills that we didn't know was going to happen. People get sick, doctor's appointments, all of those things. And so that money would be kind of pretty much gone in a couple of weeks. Or a couple of days or so. Well, I'm going to get another paycheck. And I have one of the guys pretend like he's a mailman and he will bring me my paycheck. And now I could pay my bills for a couple more weeks because I got $175. It's not a lot of money. But to somebody who don't have money, that's a lot of money. And somebody who don't have, you got 3 kids, 2 or 3 kids running around the house, $175 is a lot of money. And to the person who say, well, that money don't mean a whole lot. Well, it does, because now I am pretty much broke, and I don't get paid again for another few days. So I have the person to bring the mailman to bring me my child support check, and I did the things that I need to do with it, and then in about 2 weeks, on about the 25th, 26th of the month, I'm supposed to get another child support check. And I'm waiting for the mailman on the 23rd and 24th because that money that I spent is already gone. So I'm waiting at the mailman, waiting at the mailbox, waiting for my check to come. But this particular time, I did it on purpose. I tell the guy who was bringing my check, don't bring me my check this time. I go to the post office, my post office box, and I look in there, and there's no money. The check is not there. And here I am now. I have 7 days before I get paid again. And I'm expecting it's a $175 check that I can feed my kids for the next two weeks. And the check is not there. I didn't get food stamps, didn't get the other things, because sometimes my check was there. But the point I'm trying to make is sometimes when guys feel like I paid it this month, I paid it last month, I paid it this time, I'm not going to pay it anymore. So that money that she was planning on getting, that I was planning on getting to pay my child support, if that money come, if it didn't come, I was in trouble. And that's that's the point I was trying to make. That $175 to you, the person who's giving it, may not seem a whole lot. But the person who's receiving it, if they don't have much money, to them it means a lot. And that money didn't go to get my hair done. As you notice, I don't have any hair. I had hair back then. That was just a joke. But that money actually went to pay the light bill, the phone bill, the gas bill, the water bill, the rent, all those things that people need on a family. The single father, the single mom who don't have, thank God I had a lot of family support. My brothers and my sister gave me a lot of financial help that I needed. And so even I still struggle. Sometimes, not having money to buy clothes for myself and having to buy the kids clothes. One son get clothes this month, the other son get clothes next month, the other, but as growing kids, they're running out of clothes. The shoes got holes in them, and you got to buy your kids some things. And so the point was to get the guys to understand that their child support money is going to pay the bills in the house. And for you, that $400 to you may not mean a whole lot. But for that single mom, for that single dad, for that single person who's struggling, your child support means a lot. And we tell the guys all the time that the court system tell you to give $400. But if she asks you for more money and you have it, why not give it to her? Because after all, those are your kids. Those are your kids as well. And I don't, personally, I knew where my child support money was going. There was no question in my mind. And fellas, I don't think, and maybe there are some women out there that maybe perhaps I'm doing some things they shouldn't be doing with it. There's always some people. But I think the majority of women, the majority of men who are single fathers, single moms, are really, really taking that money and paying the household bills and taking that money and paying for things that they need for their kids. And so we encourage fathers to not just pay their child support, what the court system owed them, but to pay beyond that. Because she is the custodial parent. He is the custodial parent. But that's what that means, that the kids live with them. But he's not just the parent. Doesn't make you less of a parent. And one discussion, we're going to talk about rights of a father and rights as a mom. The non-custodial father have rights as well, or the non-custodial parent. When I was really filing for my child support, that was 15, 18 years ago, the application had on the, you fill out an application, it's got where is he living, where is he's working. It was where is he living, where is he working, where is he residing, those kind of things. And I had to cross the he out and put she, because, and they've since changed the application now. Because back then, I guess a lot of men wasn't, when they made that particular application, the father was mostly the non-custodial parent. But things have changed now, and men are stepping up to the plate and being responsible and being fathers and doing the things that they need to do. So this topic today is where your child support money is going. And at the end of our sessions, the guys stand up and they talk, and they say sometimes this is one of the best classes to them, because they understand now where their child support money is going. They have a better understanding. And again, I'm not talking about every woman, every custodial parent is doing everything that they should be doing with their money. Not trying to make that point at all. The point I am trying to make, that in my case, and probably a vast majority of a lot of cases, be it a man or a woman, if they're receiving child support, that money is really going to help pay the bills. And another question comes about is, one of the guys say, she don't really need the money. She's got a rich husband. They live in $1 million house. They live in a $500,000 house, and my $450 that I don't give to them, they don't really need it. And the child support system is not really based on that. The child support system is based on a worksheet, and based on that worksheet and based on that salary, whether they use a combined salary, and in a situation like that, you really don't want them to use a combined salary because you could end up paying more. So you want them to use your salary. So that $400 based on that workshop, whether it's Schedule B or Schedule E, that worksheet, if you have to pay $400 based on your salary, then that's your portion that you're supposed to contribute to your house, the household where your kids are living, whether she's got $1 million or whether she's struggling. That's your portion. It's had nothing to do with how much money she's bringing home, and that's your portion, and that's what you have to pay as a non-custodial father. If you don't think it's right, you can go back and always file for a motion and let them in. For instance, if guys lose their job, the other thing is, this is very important. If you were making $60,000 a year and now you've lost your job and now you're only making $20,000 a year, you have to go down to the courtroom and file for a motion and tell them that your salary has decreased, and they will come back and modify your payment. If you don't do nothing, the court system will not automatically reduce your payment. You have to go back and reduce it. You have to go and file for a motion and get them to reduce your payment. So we're going to continue this class. This is a very hot topic, and we're going to continue this broadcast as we go on, perhaps tomorrow, or maybe Monday or Tuesday of next week. But again, my name is Glenn Warren. For those who are just listening in, this is Fathers Forever, and we are talking about today's topic, where my child support money is going. And I hope that you invite people to come in and listen to this broadcast. If they have questions about child support, we're going to be doing this over and over again. This is a hot topic. We're talking about parenting. We're going to talk about a lot of things on this broadcast. I'm very, very excited about Periscope and what I think we can offer Fathers Forever to help fathers and to help women and to help people understand the importance of co-parenting. It's all for the kids. It's all about little Johnny and little Sue. They didn't ask to be here. They're the love of our lives. So we as fathers and we as moms have to make sure we're doing the things that we need to do to take care of them. I want to say good day to you, and tell your friends about us, and I'll see you next time.